You ever watch a man so desperate to protect his ego that he ends up destroying his own reputation in real time? That's exactly what Martell Holt did. It wasn't just another reality TV scandal, it was a public unraveling. One live, one post, one mocking text at a time. The mask slipped. When Tasha K dropped that clip of Melody Cherie speaking her truth, it stopped feeling like entertainment and started feeling like a cry for help. The world ignored. She wasn't performing. She was pleading. Her eyes told the story long before her words did. Fear, exhaustion, and the kind of strength that comes from surviving chaos too long. And while she spoke, the internet split in half. Half defended her. The other half mocked her pain like it was content. Martell didn't take a second to reflect. He laughed, deflected, and blamed her again. It's the oldest trick in the book. Push a woman to the edge, then record her reaction to make her look crazy. But this time, people saw through it. This time, the performance backfired. Because no matter how many lives or captions he hides behind, Martell can't rewrite the one truth Melody made clear. She's done being silent. The moment Tasha K released that video, everything shifted. What was supposed to be another round of online chatter turned into something much heavier. Melody Cherie wasn't sitting there trying to trend or stir sympathy. She was speaking from a place that had clearly reached its limit. Her tone wasn't theatrical. It was exhausted. You could hear the kind of silence that only comes after holding too much for too long. She talked about harassment, about being followed, about unwanted visits that made her question her safety. It wasn't a performance. It was a woman trying to reclaim her peace in a world that kept taking it from her. And yet, instead of empathy, what she got was debate. The internet split in two like it always does. One side said, protect her, believe her, stand by her. The other side laughed, dismissed her fear, and accused her of exaggerating just to stay relevant. That's the sickness of social media, where pain becomes a punchline and trauma becomes content. Martell Holt didn't take even a breath before reacting. Instead of listening, he went right back to what he always does, deflecting, minimizing, and mocking. People saw screenshots of messages he allegedly sent, joking about Melody's court outfit, calling her white suit. Her Sunday best-like dignity was something to laugh at. He even claimed she only went live to sell merch, twisting her fear into marketing strategy. It's the same manipulation tactic he's been using for years, flipping every situation until he looks like the victim. When Melody spoke up, he didn't respond. Like a man accused, he responded like a man performing. It wasn't about truth, it was about control. And that's the part that makes this so disturbing. He turned a woman's fear into a competition for sympathy, trying to convince the public that he was the one under attack. And people ate it up because charm sells better than accountability. Martell's confidence has always been a mask. When it slips, the insecurity shows. The mocking, the arrogance, the constant need to record and post, it's all part of the same cycle. Provoke, record, twist, repeat? He's been doing it for years, only now it's unraveling in front of everyone. Because when someone shows you who they are enough times, eventually you believe them. Melody didn't have to fight back with insults or threats. She let her composure speak for her. She's not perfect, but in that moment, she stood taller than the chaos surrounding her. And that's what scares Martell the most. Not the court orders, not the fines, but the fact that she's no longer reacting the way he expects. The game only works when she breaks, and she's stopped playing. While he's online laughing and posting, she's rebuilding her peace, brick by brick, away from the noise. And for a man like Martell, losing control of the narrative is worse than losing the fight itself. After that video dropped and Martell started running his usual routine, things only got uglier. The internet thought they had seen the worst until that elevator incident came to light. Melody, Martell, and Arian Curry all in the same small space right after court. Imagine the tension. The air so heavy you could almost feel the silence vibrate. Melody stayed composed, her body language calm but guarded. Martell tried to act unbothered, and then Arian, instead of keeping quiet, decided to throw shade. She made a slick comment about husbands like she was auditioning for attention, not realizing how embarrassing it looked. It wasn't confidence, it was desperation. The kind that comes when you've spent years trying to prove you want a man who keeps losing himself. That moment said everything. Melody didn't have to respond. She just stood there, reminding everyone that class doesn't need to shout. Arian keeps inserting herself into situations that have nothing to do with her, because she still needs to feel relevant in a story that moved on without her. And Martell, instead of stepping in to diffuse the moment, just stood there, feeding off the chaos like it gave him purpose. That's the pattern. He creates storms and then stands in the middle, acting like he's the victim of bad weather. It's exhausting to watch, but even more exhausting to live through. And Melody's been living it for years. What's wild is how people still try to flip the narrative saying Melody should move on, like healing means staying silent. She's not the one chasing attention, going live to mock people or showing up uninvited. She's just existing, and that alone seems to irritate them. People forget that peace looks boring to those addicted to drama. That's why Martell and Arian stay in it. They need noise to feel alive. But Melody's silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Every time she doesn't react, they lose a little more control. Every time she stays calm, their chaos looks louder. That's what real growth looks like. And it's the one thing Martell can't manipulate. He built his entire image on trying to make her break. But now that she's unbothered, he's the one unraveling. And that's the part that's finally starting to show. As all this kept unfolding, the real issue started to show itself. And it wasn't just about Martell anymore. It was about how everyone around him chose to look away while the situation kept spiraling. People like Letitia and Marceau Scott played their positions carefully, laughing at Martell's mess one minute and acting clueless the next. When Melody spoke up, they went quiet or tossed out fake concern wrapped in shade. They didn't want to lose their spot on the show, so they stayed neutral, pretending neutrality wasn't a choice. Wanda, on the other hand, jumped from side to side so fast it became a performance in itself. One day she was calling out Martell. The next she was defending him. Then spinning another theory online like it was her personal talk show. It stopped being entertaining and started feeling dangerous. Because when people treat serious situations like gossip, they tell the world that a woman's safety is just another storyline. That's where production came in, or failed to. Carlos King built a show on real emotions, but real emotions come with real consequences. When Melody reportedly reached out to production saying she didn't feel safe and no one showed up, that wasn't just negligence, it was betrayal. Viewers weren't mad because of fandom. They were mad because they saw what was happening and knew it wasn't right. Melody wasn't asking for fame or protection from criticism. She was asking for basic safety. And even that was too much for the system built on her pain. It's why the audience turned. Why fans started tagging networks and calling for accountability. They could see the pattern. Martell provoking, recording, twisting stories, and production turning it into content. It's not drama when fear is involved, it's exploitation. Martell keeps posting like nothing's wrong, but the cracks are showing. The nice guy image isn't holding up. The jokes feel forced, the smiles look heavy, and the followers are finally connecting the dots. Arian still lingers, trying to find validation in a man who's publicly crumbling, not realizing that loyalty to chaos never ends well. Melody, meanwhile, keeps doing what she's always done, raising her kids, running her businesses, staying grounded. She doesn't need to prove anything. Her calm is her clapback, her success her statement. And when the noise fades, only one thing will matter, that she chose peace when everyone else chose the spotlight. Everything's out now. The lies, the cover-ups, the charm, it's all peeled away, leaving only what was real. Melody didn't just survive the storyline, she owned it. Martell can keep talking, but the silence around him says more than any caption ever could. Sometimes the loudest revenge is peace, and Melody wore it perfectly. Now it's your turn. What side were you really watching from? Drop your thoughts below. Because here on Echo Spill, we don't just tell the story, we expose the truth behind it.